Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India Live, India's voice to the world. I'm Mark Lin. Namaskar. Coming up in the next 30 minutes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the President of Maldives, Mohamed Muizzu, hold talks in Malé. Both sides exchanged several MOUs and agreements on a line of credit from India, fisheries, digital solutions and UPI. FTA negotiations also launched. Prime Minister Modi says that the Maldives has a special place in India's neighborhood first and Mahasagar vision. Says India is proud to be the Maldives' most trusted friend. And Thailand declares martial law in areas bordering Cambodia after deadly clashes. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held delegation-level talks with Maldives' President Dr. Mohamed Muizzu. The leaders held talks on a number of issues. Several MOUs and agreements were signed between the two countries. Both countries announced the decision to launch the India-Maldives Free Trade Agreement. The negotiations for that. Under India's buyer's credit facilities, over 3,300 social housing units were handed to Humale. Delivering the press statement, along with the Maldives President, Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India is proud to be considered Maldives' most trusted friend.
मालदीव भारत की नेबरहुड फर्स्ट पॉलिसी और महासागर विजन दोनों में एक अहम स्थान रखता है। भारत को मालदीव का सबसे भरोसेमंद मित्र होने पर भी गर्व है। आपदा हो या महामारी, भारत हमेशा फर्स्ट रिस्पॉन्डर बनकर साथ खड़ा रहा है। एसेंशियल कमोडिटीज उपलब्ध कराने की बात हो या कोविड के बाद अर्थव्यवस्था को संभालना, भारत ने हमेशा साथ मिलकर काम किया है।
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has announced a line of credit for the Maldives aimed at supporting the country's infrastructure development. Let's listen.
हमारी डेवलपमेंट पार्टनरशिप को नई उड़ान देने के लिए हमने मालदीव के लिए $565 मिलियन यानी लगभग 5,000 करोड़ रुपए की लाइन ऑफ क्रेडिट देने का निर्णय लिया है। यह मालदीव के लोगों की प्राथमिकताओं के अनुरूप यहां के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर के विकास से जुड़ी परियोजनाओं के लिए इस्तेमाल ली जाएगी।
Prime Minister Modi also spoke about the expansion of the Unified Payments Interface, or UPI, in the Maldives, a move expected to boost tourism and other business sectors. Let's listen once again.
अब हमारा लक्ष्य है from paperwork to prosperity. लोकल करेंसी सेटलमेंट सिस्टम से रुपये और रुपया में सीधे व्यापार कर सकेंगे। जिस रफ्तार से यूपीआई को मालदीव में बढ़ावा मिल रहा है, इससे टूरिज्म और रिटेल दोनों को ताकत मिलेगी।
Meanwhile, the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu says that the Maldives has reaffirmed its commitment to further strengthen ties with India across various sectors.
Our people-to-people connections have long been the foundation of the relationship between the Maldives and India. Through cultural exchanges, tourism, education, and familial bonds, we continue to strengthen mutual understanding and goodwill between our nations. Looking ahead, we are fully committed to further strengthen our cooperation with India across a broad range of sectors through exchange of high-level visits. Prime Minister Modi, I once again thank you for your commitment to enhancing the close ties between the Maldives and India.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi handed over the Bhisham, that is the Bharat Health Initiative for Sahayog Hita and Maitri Cubes to the Maldives. Chants of Narendra Modi Zindabad echoed in the air in Malé as people welcomed Prime Minister Narendra Modi warmly. In a significant diplomatic stride, India and the Maldives, they have deepened their partnership with the signing of 8 MOUs and agreements. These exchanges span critical sectors including trade, finance, digital technologies, fisheries, meteorology and public health, marking a new phase of strategic collaboration. Here are the details, in fact. Let me spell them out for you. The agreement for an LOC, or the line of credit, of Indian rupees 4,850 crores to the Maldives. A mandatory agreement. This is on reducing annual debt repayment obligations of the Maldives to the Government of India, funds funded by LOCs. The terms of reference of the India-Maldives Free Trade Agreement, that's the broad framework, and the MOU on cooperation in the field of fisheries and aquaculture is the 4th agreement. An MOU also between the Indian Institute of Tropical Meteorology and the Ministry of Earth Sciences and the Maldives Meteorology Services, the Ministry of Tourism and Environment as well. Now, MOU on cooperation in the field of sharing successful digital solutions implemented at population scale for digital transformation between the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology of India and the Ministry of Homeland Security and Technology of the Maldives. The MOU is also on recognition of Indian pharmacopoeia by Maldives. And then there's an 8th MOU, or it's a network-to-network agreement between India's NPCI International Payments Limited and Maldives' Monetary Authority on UPI in the Maldives. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu, they jointly inaugurated the Doshimena building. This is a new building which is of the Ministry of Defense, and it's a building in Malé in Maldives.
The development of this vital national institution reflects the mutual trust and shared commitment to regional peace, stability, and security. We express our heartfelt gratitude to the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, His Excellency Shri Narendra Modi, the Government of India and its people for this generous assistance. With deepest respect, we now invite Your Excellencies to kindly turn your attention to the LED screen for a short introductory video presentation.
Today marks a historic milestone with the inauguration of Doshimena building of the Ministry of Defense, a testament to the enduring friendship and strategic partnership between the Government of Maldives and the Government of India. The building now stands tall against the skyline of Malé, seamlessly embedded into the signature facade of the capital city. The foundation stone was laid on 19 February 2014 and is jointly inaugurated today by President His Excellency Dr. Mohamed Muizzu and Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. We express our sincere gratitude to the people and Government of India for this vital support, which reflects our mutual trust and shared values. This building will serve as a cornerstone for future growth, enhanced operational efficiency, and strengthened regional cooperation in the field of defense.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi chaired delegation-level talks with the Maldivian President Mohamed Muizzu on Friday. During his 2-day state visit, the talks focused on development cooperation, economic cooperation, along with security, safety, business, investment, and climate change. Prime Minister Narendra Modi also held a one-on-one meeting with the Maldivian President, Mohamed Muizzu. They discussed issues of mutual interest. The leaders jointly reviewed the progress of the comprehensive economic and security maritime partnership between India and the Maldives. Earlier today, Prime Minister Modi landed at the Velana International Airport in Male to a ceremonial welcome. In a special gesture, President Muizzu and his cabinet members received Prime Minister Modi at the airport. The Prime Minister received a warm and enthusiastic welcome from the Indian diaspora. As he arrived in Male, waving flags and chanting slogans, the members of the Indian community, they gathered in large numbers there to greet Prime Minister Modi. Prime Minister Modi, during his state visit to the Maldives, also signed the visitor's book, marking a significant moment in India-Maldives relations. Prime Minister Modi will participate in the 60th Independence Day celebrations of the Maldives as a guest of honor on the 26th of July. And Prime Minister Narendra Modi received a ceremonial welcome and a guard of honor this was in Maldives, in Male. This happened earlier in the day. In the ceremonial gesture, Prime Minister Modi was accorded a 21-gun salute, symbolizing the strong bilateral ties between India and the Maldives. The visit underscores the deepening partnership with discussions expected. In fact, they focused on enhancing cooperation in trade, tourism, and regional security. Let's get you other news stories now. And the Ministry of Defence on Friday signed a contract with Bharat Electronics Limited, or BEL. This is for the procurement of 2,200 crore rupees worth of air defence fire control radars for the Indian Army. With a minimum of 70% indigenous content, these fire control radars will be able to detect all forms of airborne threats, including fighter aircraft, attack helicopters, and enemy drones. The ministry said in an official statement, this marks a significant milestone in the modernization of the air defense regiments and enhances the Army's operational readiness. The prestigious capstone seminar was held in Delhi on Friday. It's themed Aerospace Power, Preserving India's Sovereignty and Furthering India's National Interests. The event was attended by India's Chief of Defence Staff, General Anil Chauhan, and the Chief of Air Staff, Air Chief Marshal A.P. Singh. Addressing the gathering of senior officers of the Indian Armed Forces and the officers from various other nations, General Chauhan said, any military must be constantly alert and maintain a high degree of operational preparedness. An example is Operation Sindoor, which still continues. Our preparation level has to be very high, 24/7, 365 days.
Kind of a concentric circles in which the outermost layer defines how you secure your country, which will probably define a national security strategy, about which there was a question also. The middle layer would be how you defend your country. That's entirely different gamut, but it would be a subset of how you secure a country, and the center or the core of it would be something to do with military preparedness of a nation. Giving examples of Operation Sindoor, which still continues. Our preparedness level has to be very high. It's 24/7, 365 days.
In an address at the G.P. Birla Memorial Lecture, this is at the Birla Planetarium in Hyderabad, the ISRO chairman, Dr. V. Narayanan, he shared India's bold roadmap for space exploration, announcing that the Indian Space Research Organization aims to establish its own space station by 2035. Dr. Narayanan elaborated that ISRO will have 12 launch vehicle missions this year. He also said that ISRO is working on building its own space station.
This year, we are going to have 12 launch vehicle missions. And third mission is planned this 30th this year. And this is the entire program what we have approved, what we have shown to government. And now we are building our own, working for building our own space station. We are going to have our own Chandrayaan landing.
And additionally, Dr. Narayanan also confirmed that the manned Gaganyaan mission, which is a landmark in India's space program, is all set to be launched in the first quarter of 2027. India's Defence Research and Development Organization, the DRDO, on Friday successfully carried out flight trials of the UAV-launched precision-guided missile ULPGM-V3 at a test range in Andhra Pradesh. The Defence Minister Rajnath Singh informed over social media today that the flight trials were carried out in Kurnool. Now, in a post on X, the minister said that the DRDO successfully trialed the UAV launched precision-guided missile V3, and it is a major boost to India's defence capabilities. Designed, developed and tested by DRDO, the ULPGM V3, it is an advanced version of the DRDO's UAV-launched precision munition. Still to come here on DD India Live. The French president, he says that France will officially recognize the Palestinian state at the UNGA in September. The world reacts.
Jharkhand will mesmerize you with majestic nature, rich heritage and colorful culture.
Johar. Johar. It fits perfectly.
Thank you.
Full workout हो गया.
Ready?
Postcards from Jharkhand on National Geographic.
Good girl.
आगे सैलरी अब नए झुमके ना पहले बचत पहले झुमके सुनो हर महीने थोड़ा बचाओ और थोड़ा निवेश करो और कुछ इमरजेंसी के लिए भी बचाओ ताकि रहो टेंशन फ्री। लेकिन झुमकों का क्या जाती हो कि लगाओ इंजेक्शन।
आरबीआई कहता है
वित्तीय समझदारी समृद्ध नारी।
Near the heart of India.
You're watching DD India Live. I'm Mark Lin. Thailand has declared martial law in 8 of its districts bordering Cambodia on Friday as the countries have traded strikes in a second deadly day of clashes. Apichat Saprasert, who's the commander of the military's border defense command in the provinces of Chanthaburi and Trat, he said in a statement that martial law is now in effect in 7 districts of Chanthaburi and 1 district of Trat. Thailand's military on Friday fired artillery towards Surin province, which borders Cambodia. The acting Thai Prime Minister has warned that the exchanges could, in fact, move towards war. He emphasized Thailand's commitment to peace, but he also said that the country had to respond to a provocation in self-defense. So far, the conflict has killed at least 16 people in the clashes that have taken place in 12 locations. The Indian Embassy in Thailand issued a travel advisory today, urging Indian tourists to remain vigilant amid escalating tensions along the Thailand-Cambodia border. Due to ongoing unrest along the Thai-Cambodian border, the Embassy of India in Thailand said, and I quote, "In view of the situation near the Thailand-Cambodia border, all Indian travelers to Thailand are advised to check updates from Thai official sources, including the TAT newsroom. As per the Tourism Authority of Thailand, the TAT, places mentioned in the following link are not recommended for travel," and that link would be placed. So, now the Tourism Authority of Thailand has in fact announced that several attractions across 7 provinces, Ubon, Ratchathani, Surin, Sisaket, Buriram, Sakyo, Chantaburi and Trat. They are currently not recommended for visiting. Sudan's paramilitary rapid support forces killed at least 30 civilians, including women and children, in a two-day assault on a village in the war-torn country's west, a war monitor said on Friday. The Emergency Lawyers Group, which has documented atrocities across the two-year conflict between the army and the RSF, said that these attacks took place on Wednesday and Thursday and targeted the village of Brima Rashid, which is near the RSF-held city of En Nuhud, which is in West Kordofan state. The French President Emmanuel Macron said on Thursday that France is going to be recognizing a Palestinian state in September at the United Nations General Assembly, adding that he hoped that it would help bring peace to the region. Macron, in fact, published a letter sent to the Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas confirming France's intention to become the first major Western power, a P5 member that too, to recognize a Palestinian state. France will become the first major Western country to recognize a Palestinian state, potentially giving greater momentum to a movement so far dominated by smaller nations that are generally more critical of Israel. Macron's announcement drew immediate anger from Israel, with Prime Minister Netanyahu saying that it rewards terror and poses an existential threat to Israel. The Iranian diplomats met with counterparts from Germany, also Britain and France, on Friday for renewed nuclear talks, amid warnings that the three European powers could trigger snapback sanctions outlined under the 2015 deal. The meeting in Istanbul is the first since Israel's attack on Iran, which sparked a 12-day war and targeted key nuclear and military sites. On the occasion of the International Day for the Conservation of the Mangrove Ecosystem, the UNESCO Regional Office of South Asia, in collaboration with Akashvani and TERI School of Advanced Studies, they've launched the Climate Science Literacy Radio Messages. So this initiative, it aims to enhance public understanding of climate science by leveraging the power of radio to connect scientific insights with communities. The launch was held as part of the Roots to Resistance seminar, reinforcing the vital role of communications in building climate resilience and also in protecting vulnerable ecosystems like mangroves.
Understanding with UNESCO by Akashvani is that whenever they would be doing some target mission activities for the preservation of the environment or for the ecology or for the ecosystem, they look upon to All India Radio to inseminate the information from them to the people who are basically the radio listeners, who can listen the programs and who can then understand whatever the UNESCO intends to do in a very simple and lucid manner.
And the batter Joe Root notched up a magnificent century to power England to a commanding position on the third day of the fourth test against India at Old Trafford on Friday. England's total has crossed 420 runs after Root and Ollie Pope took the Indian attack to the cleaners. The duo added 144 runs for the third wicket. Washington Sundar got rid of Pope and Harry Brook in quick succession. But since then, it's been Stokes and Root who are at the crease and taking the English challenge forward. Well, a stellar performance by Indian boxers at the 2025 World Boxing Cup in Astana, Kazakhstan, bringing home 11 medals, mind you, including 3 gold, 5 silver and 3 bronze. So, speaking exclusively to DD India, Ajay Singh, he confirmed that the much-delayed Boxing Federation of India elections are also going to be held before August 31, the deadline that is set by the World Boxing Body. Tapas Bhattacharya spoke to him.
The chief of BFI is with me, sir. Indian team has shown once again that given a chance, both men and women can do wonders. How do you see their performance in Brazil and Kazakh?
I think it's been wonderful. This is the very first time that an Indian team coming back from a world championship has come back with 11 medals. 3 golds and 5 silvers and 3 bronze. Incredible performance in Astana, and this is just the start. This is the start of the Olympic cycle, and we expect the Indian team to keep performing better and better. We have the World Championship coming up in Liverpool, and followed by the World Boxing Cup finals, which will be held in India in November. And all these are preparatory to, of course, the Commonwealth, the Asian Games, and the Olympics in 2028. So we have great hope and expectation of all our wonderful boxers, and they are working very hard, and we'll make India proud.
So there is a lot of talk going on about how BFI election is going to happen. Any lead on that? What is the latest on that?
The elections will happen as soon as possible, and certainly before the 31st of August. The world body has created an interim committee and has been tasked with the job of holding elections in August. We did start the process of elections in March of this year and was held up with the various litigations, etc. But we hope that the elections will be completed in August.
That's the president of BFI stating that the election of BFI is expected to be held in August, and as usual, the Indian men's and the women's team have done exceedingly well in the tournament in Kazakhstan and Brazil. With Campus Sanjeev, this is Abush Bhattacharya for DD India from Delhi.
Well, that's all we have in this edition of DD India Live. Let's know your thoughts on the news of the day. You can also go, online and check our DD India mobile app, which is available on Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code and download it now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. My name is Mark Lin. Thank you for being with us on DD India Live. Namaskar.